What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about Opendoor. I want to go over some data points, what is moving it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So Opendoor is down 5.3%. So it is lagging the broader market because the market's starting to kind of recover. I'm going to go over why it is recovering. But in Opendoor's case, you're not really seeing any traction. So 503 the low, 521 the high, and during the pre-market, it was actually down like 6+%. So absolutely crazy stuff. Nothing really coming out from the company itself. No new analyst ratings since looks like February the 25th. And that was a Morgan Stanley $6 price target. New one, mind you, so that's a pretty good thing, but still a lot of analysts have yet to give ratings based on Opendoor's pretty epic earnings. But nonetheless, the market is starting to really move higher because of this right here. So we did have two data points shortly after the bell: S&P Global and ISM Manufacturing. ISM's a little bit more of a smaller control group, but that did come in at 52.4, forecast of 51.3, and then S&P Global came in at 51.6, forecast of 51.2. For those of you that watched my weekend video, you'd know that these two data points were going to be a very big deal for the broader market. And it's actually, I think they purposefully lowballed it because the previous was solid mid 52s. So there really wasn't that much justified reason to have it at the 51. So I think they were kind of, again, setting the bar fairly low for an easy beat. But nonetheless, the market's also digesting what happened over the weekend in regards to Iran. And more specifically, what type of retaliation was going to occur. And luckily enough, Iran only did a 20% hold on their oil. And so, of course, that's causing oil to kind of move higher. But given the circumstances, markets seeing that as somewhat acceptable. So today, we're not really seeing anything from Opendoor, like I said, so no press releases, no SEC filings. Quickly popping over here, you're starting to see a nice recovery in the broader market. Bitcoin, it is up 5.5%, oil 5.56%, and gold similarly is starting to really move higher as well. So things are looking pretty a-okay. In regards to shorts, so shorts are currently returning 183,000 shares. 16.1% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 135 million shares overall being shorted. So based on this, so the shares on loan being at 86.9 million, we're pretty much almost double that. So a lot of naked shorting is going on. So you have a lot of manipulation, and that's been a ongoing thing since roughly November. So let me know your general thoughts on that. DTC being at 2.48 days does really signal that shorts are fairly overextended. One thing that I did fail to bring up in my weekend video was that GoPro does have their earnings this week, and that is a very big meme stock. And so typically when one meme stock has a good earnings or a surprise, it kind of causes a nice domino effect because there is obviously a lot of entities that are shorting Opendoor, GoPro, and many others. And so for instance, if one starts to really go higher, they like to mitigate risk. So potentially that could be a good catalyst on Thursday on a side note. But looking at this right here at the options, 1.1 million in calls, 303,000 in puts. 51% of all the options being done are bearish in nature. From a bull standpoint, you see a consensus for it to be roughly around 550 to 6. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub 450 to 5. You kind of see not that much in institutional transactions. So 3 buys, 2 sells. One of them was a 1.1 million sell, other one being 110,000 sell. The 3 buys, 320, 153, and then 126,000. So whatever reason, institutions aren't really doing that much with Opendoor. And this is why I said at the very beginning, why it might be a good opportunity. So for whatever reason, Opendoor is getting overlooked when the broader market is starting to recover. Once big money catches on to that, they'll kind of move it higher. So again, for those of you that are day traders, swing traders, might be a good opportunity. Dark pool is very active considering the market's been open roughly around 2.5 hours. Definitely this is where a lot of big money is kind of doing their deals. You see a couple of hold numbers, such as 170,000, 20,000. Those most likely are hedge funds, but given how active shorts are, it is fair to assume that most of this is linked to them. And again, they are returning. So giving you a quick overview back over here, at the peak, they were increasing 593,000. So they kind of hit it hard first thing, and then they kind of just tapered off. But again, as you can kind of see, Opendoor is really failing to get above some key levels. So right now with that 514, it is trading between this R1 and the pivot. So 509 is a strong support, and then 560 is that next strong target / resistance. I'm looking at the 1-day chart on a side note. So these are very strong support and resistance points. For those of you that are day traders and so forth, looking at the 1 minute, you have it right now trading between this S1 and this S2. So 515, so that's pretty much where it's at right now. 523, 536 is going to be the next strong target. So kind of bounce off this S1. So just watch for it at least today to get above that 523. Like I said, I think that the market's going to smarten up and really start to buy Opendoor and really push it higher. So potentially even testing this R1 or maybe even this R2, so 549 and 557. So I wouldn't be surprised if that does happen. Aside from all that, on the actual chart itself, giving you a quick overview of that. So right now it's still technically stuck in limbo between that 50-day moving average, so that blue line right there, and that orangish line, so that is the 200-day moving average. So it's still doing okay. It's just kind of stuck in no man's land right now, waiting for either a good catalyst to really push it to that 50 or retest that 200. And so yeah, big money is definitely buying up the broader market, just overlooking Opendoor, but that is might be a good opportunity. But NASDAQ is up 0.35, S&P up 0.01, Dow is down slightly, but that's obviously weighted in a unique way. But nonetheless, let me know your thoughts on Opendoor. Are you buying? Are you selling? What are you generally doing with Opendoor? And what do you think the next big catalyst is for Opendoor? So I was actually looking on social media, and there's a lot of people just really hyped up over Opendoor's most recent earnings, but I think a lot of people are starting to say, like, so what is the next big catalyst? Is it more macro, or is it Opendoor actually putting out and kind of executing on some of their big plans that they do have? So what's your general thoughts? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades, worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.